Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review thanks to the team at TF Direct. Today we're taking a look at the MPP33 fire engines by Robot Fantasy and Wei Jiang. Now I believe Wei Jiang were behind the production of this. Robot Fantasy are the ones that reverse engineered them. They worked on some of the Yes Model products as well. Very nice artwork on the front there. As far as I'm aware, this is unique and they've done it themselves. I don't think they ripped this off from anybody. I think they've actually done the art themselves. Quick look at the side of the box. We have Inferno on the side there, again in that kind of artistic render. On the back of the box we have our basic warnings and how to find Robot Fantasy. They're on Weibo, and on side we have him in his fire truck. Nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. Let's crack him open. Boom! There he is. He is massive. He comes with everything you see in the picture. He comes with a large poster set of instructions, same artwork as we had on the front of the box. We get a collector's card. Unfortunately the collector's card isn't oversized. I was hoping for that to be like double the size as well. There is his specs. And there's a little rub tab. I think I can enter something if I rub that off or register it. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask TF Direct. And we also get some added bonuses as well. We get a set of fixed hands. He comes with fully articulated hands as standard. Some people might not like that. So we get the standard MP style hands. And we also get a large rubber hose with the clamp on the end. That's a very nice added accessory. Taking a look at all of his accessories first, we get that water jet done in actual watercolors as opposed to kind of like a creamy salty mixture, I guess. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Again, just oversized. We get, here's a gun. Still have those masterpiece style connectors on there, even for the fully articulated hands. We get the animation style chest plate as opposed to the chromed one that we have on there as standard. We also get the red alert cradle chest plate, which implies to me that we may be getting an oversized red alert. Let's hope he is the right scale as opposed to that Tanaka Tony oversized sideswiper that was just too big. We get the alternative helmet, which can be switched over. We get the ivory coloured hose attachment. We get 2 brackets, and then we get the 3 alternative faces. That's a nice kind of neutral face. There we have the smiley face because Red Alert's told him a joke. And then we have the you did what with sideswipe face? Now taking a look at Inferno in all his glory, he is absolutely massive. I just need to lock these wheels in at the front. There we go. Everything rolls as it should. Very nice, clean paint scheme. Really hope they come out with grapple as well and give us taller as well. That would be nice. Let's bring in the original Inferno. There we go. There is a slight difference in size there. Now see, they have opted for slightly different colorations. This section here is frosted. This one isn't. This is a much darker windscreen. This is probably more in keeping with what we got from the rest of the Transformers line so far. Really loving this. This could well be my favourite oversized masterpiece figure to date. Here he is alongside the oversized Bumblebee and of course the oversized Spike. I think with Spike especially, I think that's a really solid scale. I think that works exceptionally well. And here he is with the official MP10. His cab is basically the same size as the MP10s. This truck is massive. Now let's take a closer look at some of the detailing on Inferno. Really love the chrome finish on the front there. Like I said, the tyres are now rubber. You've got the kind of steel wheels going on. It's a much darker paint as well, kind of truer, I think, to the source material. We've got the extending legs that can come down to support him. Love how that's all been done in that kind of ivory style paint. We do have the extending ladder feature that we got with the official, and just listen to that ratchet. That's fantastic. We do still have those same awesome functions with the extending ladder and the ability to fire water out of the end. Unfortunately, I would like a seat for our driver or our engineer or somebody to sit in so we can navigate that ladder. And there is a downside to this as well. This one doesn't lock in as well as it should. So if you tap it slightly, this will bend at that hinge. I may just try and see if I can tighten it up by taking that apart and just see what's going on in there. I think it's this outer sliding unit. It doesn't quite lock in as it should, but as you can see, I mean, it does work, but I think we run the risk of that kind of collapsing over time. Now, unfortunately, the downside of getting things slightly ahead of schedule is that we get ones that are sometimes incomplete. As you can see, mine does not have wipers or lamps for the front there. Both of those are missing. Now I have checked the box to make sure there aren't any hidden baggies or anything, which there isn't. Now I'm assuming the final release, the retail release, is going to include these already attached. I'm going to see if I can contact TF Direct and see if they can get me a set sent over. But yes, unfortunately mine's missing the lamps and the wipers. And the front can just disengage. It's tabbed in at the top and the bottom. You've got a nice chrome section on the front there. It's a little bit rattly once you take it off, but we can bring in my cartoon style replacement. Although if you look at the paint on this front piece here, it's kind of more of a matte finish, even on the red. And as you can see, I've applied my own decal on there. We can slide that on, and there we go. Now I don't have to worry about my lights or my wipers. Now, as gorgeous as this alt mode looks, let's get him transformed up into his robot mode. The first step is to slide down all of this ladder section. You want to bring it up to approximately that angle. I love that ratchet on here with this fully up. You can bend this piece over and that's going to collapse. And as we bring this down, this section at the back here just comes out. The front wheels unclip from the front piece here. They also bend outwards, and this piece here just pushes in behind that wheel section. These back pieces come untabbed from either side of this cradle, and with this piece folded in, you can bring the wheels back slightly, which in turn allows us to bring this whole chest piece upwards. We can then bring this tab upwards, fold that completely over. These shoulder tab pieces fold downwards. That now allows us to bring this head piece upwards. The wings can come up and flip around to the side like so. And again, on this side, you want to bring this up and rotate it around. And then we have the hose section to the side of the head. We can then rotate this piece around. And there we have the very well done head of the Inferno. I said it once, I said it again, I absolutely love this figure. This piece rotates around all the way up and over. This white tab untabs from the shoulder. This is going to rotate down, and as we do so, that rotates across and then collapses upwards, and then this ball socket here is going to push inside the arm so that when we bring that up, the shoulder and arm are now in the correct location. Take a look at the waist section. You've got these hip skirts that can come outwards like so. We then want to separate the legs. They're tabbed in at this point here. You want to slide those out, and again on this side, slide that out, and then bring those all the way down to the front like so. And then using this joint at the front here, bring the torso all the way up. Using that hinge, flip that down, bring this up and around, and that slides into the back there, sealing that off. Bring that section down. These wheels are going to come up to the side, and you want to push, forcibly pushing and locking that into place. You then want to bring this joint back down, bring these leg skirts around to the back and down to the feet. You want to bring that ratchet section down. This closes off on the bottom of the foot. This piece goes across the back like so. This is going to come out, and it's going to rock and slide all the way down, finishing off the lower leg panels. And then we're going to push this piece here so that's even on both sides of the legs, and then we can just bring out these shin skirts as well to flare his trousers. And here we have him fully transformed up. Now he's not without his faults. I would like some tighter shoulder joints, but I'll cover that when I cover the articulation. But all in all, he's a really gorgeous looking masterpiece figure, and he is absolutely massive. I mean, if you fully extend that arm with that water jet squirting out as well, I mean, there's some real length to this figure. I love how tidy the back looks. Not a fan of those butt pads personally, but I know in essence it's just an oversized version of Inferno, but I don't care. I love how it looks, and if you're a fire truck fan, if you're an Inferno fan, or if you just love big bots, then this is highly recommended. I mean, come on, that looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? I'm just going to switch out this chrome goodness for that pearlescent one. It just switches over like so. One thing I love about the Inferno mold, whether you like the hose or not, you get the option to have the hose and the hand installed at the same time, which is really nice. I love how they worked that into the engineering. It was their design and it worked exceptionally well. These new hands are really nice, fully articulated fingers and really stiff, although the thumb is still in a fixed position. The standard toy inspired head sculpt is nice, but it's not my personal preference. Now I'll pop it off the ball joint so it's easier for you to see, but this whole faceplate slides backwards into this shell. This is where the ball socket is situated. Again, that's a very toy inspired face in my opinion, so I'm going to switch that out for the more neutral of looks with those smaller eyes. So the faceplate just slides off and slides back on again. You can do all of this on that ball socket, and then I'm going to slide this back in to the cartoon style head, sliding that back in, and there we have a much more kind of cartoon accurate sculpt. And let's just pop that back on the ball socket. And there we go, one cartoon style Inferno. Articulation on the figure is pretty good. We've got up and down motion within the head itself. We can look left and look right and tilt. This whole piece at the front here can actually come upwards as well and tilt backwards, so we can get a really nice range, and we can move that left and right as well. The shoulders, the first ratchet is incredibly loose on mine. I may have to just see if I can tighten that up on the inside, but once we get past that, these are much better. But that first one is pretty poor. We've got an upper bicep rotation, we've got a bend on that elbow which brings it up and beyond 90 degrees. There's rotation on the wrist. There's also a little bit of up and down motion on the wrist. And like I mentioned, each finger is articulated at 3 points, including the base where they are all pinned together. So we've got a fair amount of range on those. We have some left and right on the waist. We can crunch forwards and backwards, although mine doesn't really want to lock in as well as it should on that base there, where the legs can come that far forward on an incredibly tight ratchet. Out to the side again on a very tight ratchet, upper thigh rotation. We get an incredibly deep ratcheted bend on that knee. I just wish the shoulders were like this. And we get left and right pivot. We get some up and down motion as well on that foot. And unfortunately we don't get any left and right motion, but we can use that rotation on that thigh. And as far as balance goes, the joints on the legs are exceptionally well done. They really do help him keep that balance in place. The running pose actually looks pretty darn natural. For a quick scale comparison, who is alongside Ironhide and Prime, as you can see, he's a very good height. I prefer him to Ironhide 110%. He just looks that much better, and it's a really good scale with Prime. Although for Red Alert's bromance with Inferno to blossom, I really think we need a slightly enlarged version of Red Alert. Now, a question of the day. What on earth are these for? It's been such a long time since I reviewed Inferno. Is this something we got with the original? I honestly can't remember for the life of me, and where are they meant to go? So there we have it, the oversized Inferno. I prefer it to the original. It feels extremely solid in hand, easily on par with some of Wei Jiang's other projects. Not a fan of those shoulder ratchets, so there's something just not quite right on the inside there, and I would have really liked mine to have been complete with wipers and indicator lamps or signal lamps, but whatever you want to call them. But beggars cannot be choosers. Hope you found the video useful. If you have, feel free to give a big thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. I have included a link in the description below where this can be purchased, and let's hope, fingers crossed, that yours doesn't have parts missing. I do love how this looks, especially the cartoon style pieces, and I can't wait for them to give us a grapple and hopefully a hauler as well. And come on, where is Red Alert? That mold has been around for absolutely donkey's years, and yet Wei Jiang haven't tackled him. Until next time, from myself and Inferno, thanks for watching. Goodbye.